rescoring one of the most controversial fights in history. Manny Pacquiao versus Tim Bradley won. In round one, it wasn't a fill out round. Both of them came out swinging. Pacquiao activity was high for about the first minute, but then I noticed he started slowing down. He didn't throw as many punches as he was. Tim did everything in the first round. He boxed on the back foot. He came forward. He used his lateral movement. He was counter punching. His activity was way more than Manny Pacquiao's. Pacquiao did try to steal the round, which he landed some good punches. But Tim punches was also getting through, and they were clean and effective. I have to give round one to Timothy Bradley. Round two, once again, a high volume round where both of the guys are just coming out exchanging. But one thing I did notice is Timothy Bradley, he tried to change his game plan. He decided to try to walk down Manny Pacquiao. And it did not work. I'm not going to lie. It did not work. Manny was finding his mark with that left hand the whole round. And Tim activity was still high, but none of his punches was really landing. Most of his punches was landing on Manny's high guard, or he was just missing because they were both out of range. Manny, every time he threw, it seemed like he rocked Tim this round. So this round easily goes to Manny Pacquiao. On to round three. Once again, Timothy Bradley activity is amazing. He's keeping Pacquiao at bay with that jab, and he's throwing combinations with speed. Pacquiao activity, it's okay, but it's not as much as Timothy Bradley's. Pacquiao did land some good punches this round, but he also missed a lot of power punches. It seemed like he's loading up on one big shot, and he's not throwing the combinations that we are used to seeing Manny Pacquiao throw. Tim, on the other hand, is boxing beautifully this round. Yes, he got hit with some stuff. It's boxing. What I do notice is once Tim gets hit with something, he comes back with like a 6-punch combination. Pacquiao's throwing 1 or 2 punches. Tim is throwing 6 punches. It's a big difference. When Pacquiao throws 1 or 2 punches and land 1 punch, and Tim throws 6 punches and land 3 punches, the edge has to go to Timothy Bradley. Round four, probably one of the hardest rounds to score. The first 2 minutes of the round was all Timothy Bradley. He changed his game plan and decided to just stand in the pocket and brawl. And it was working. He was throwing nothing but body shots, and he was landing. A lot of them was also straying slow, which is kind of smart. Slow the man down. But the last minute of the round, Manny Pacquiao threw like a 20-minute combination that hurt Tim. He hurt him, but he was also throwing punches back, and he was landing also. So I gotta give this round to Tim. He controlled the first 2 minutes, and they both were going back and forth for the last minute. So I gotta give it to Tim. Round five, easily the easiest round to score. Timothy Bradley activity went way, way, way down. It looked like he was still trying to get the cobwebs out of his head. And once again, Manny Pacquiao hurt him again. He was trying to stay away the whole round. Manny Pacquiao was landing good punches, and he was coming forward. Tim wasn't doing nothing, trying to keep him at bay with his jab, but it wasn't working. He couldn't do anything. Manny hurt him, and then they started brawling, which is Manny's fight. Easily a Manny Pacquiao round. Round six, another kind of slow round. The whole first 2 minutes of the fight, I'm not gonna lie, Timothy Bradley was just boxing. He decided not to brawl, which is very smart. You're not supposed to brawl with Manny Pacquiao. but he was using his feet a lot and he was popping that jab out there. He'll throw 1-2 here and there. He'll throw a hook here and there. But he was controlling the round and he was landing. About around the last 40 seconds of the round, Manny threw a flurry and he landed, I say he landed a good 3 punches from that flurry that were hard and effective. But that was it. I'm sorry, man. Like, you're not going to get around from me if you're only fighting for 15 seconds of the round. If your opponent is fighting most of the round, jabbing, landing punches here and there, he's controlling the round. It doesn't matter if you land 3 good punches in one flurry. Because Timothy Bradley defense was on point this round. He was dodging all of Manny Pacquiao punches. This round goes to Timothy Bradley. Round 7, I noticed Timothy Bradley work rate went back up. He changed his style a couple of times in the round. He came forward. He brawled a couple times. He was on the back foot a couple times. And he was using his lateral movement a couple times. Very smart. But once again, I think Manny Pacquiao is trying to steal these rounds because it seems like he's taking the first 2 minutes off. Like the first 2 minutes is all Timothy Bradley. And then he throws a flurry of like 20 punches at like 45 seconds left in the round. It's clear he's trying to steal the rounds. And to me, it ain't working. That flurry that he threw, they both were exchanging. Did he get his punches in? Yes. But Timothy Bradley also got his punches in the first 2 minutes of the round, including some punches in that exchange. So this round goes to Timothy Bradley. Round 8, Timothy Bradley slowed down his activity. And what I've been noticing is if he doesn't come out with a bunch of activity, he's most likely going to lose the round. Because he just can't keep up with Pacquiao's strength and speed. Pacquiao also can't keep up with Timothy Bradley's speed. I think that's what's really messing with Pacquiao, is when he has this activity and he has the speed behind it. Pacquiao don't care about his power, of course, but the speed is really what's getting to him. But for round 8, easily a Pacquiao round. He was landing big punches and his activity finally came back up. It seemed like he got his second win. As for Timothy Bradley, it seemed like he ain't got no win left and he's just taking punishment. So this round easily goes to Manny Pacquiao. Round 9, once again, another hard round to score. Simply because they both started brawling and they both was exchanging. They both were landing punches to the body and to the head. So when it's 50-50 like that, we have to look at who is more effective. And it's easily Manny Pacquiao. But I honestly, I don't know how Bradley is still standing up to these punches when they land. They look like they're doing a lot of damage on him. When Timothy Bradley lands on Pacquiao, it might snap his head back. It might look good. You might hear it. But it ain't, you could tell it ain't really doing nothing to Pacquiao. When Pacquiao lands, Tim Bradley wobbles every single time. His legs turn into spaghetti legs every single time. This round goes to Manny Pacquiao. Round 10, and I'm not going to lie to y'all. Bradley boxed Manny's head off this round. This probably the best round Timothy Bradley had in the fight. Manny Pacquiao maybe landed 1 or 2 punches the whole round. Timothy Bradley activity went back up, but it was very, very different. Before he was jabbing a lot. This round, he was throwing nothing but combinations, power punches, and he was getting out of range before Manny Pacquiao could throw or land a punch, which was perfectly. He should have been doing that the whole fight instead of brawling because he's fast enough to do it. But this round easily goes to Timothy Bradley. After 10 rounds, I have it 6-4 Timothy Bradley, meaning Manny Pacquiao has to win both of these rounds to even get a draw on my scorecard. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know what they told him in the corner, but it was not working. Because in round 11 was another masterclass by Timothy Bradley, completely boxing his head off. He was using a jab, he was counter punching, he was dodging all the Manny punches, and his activity was high. This was a beautiful round. Was it? I don't know what they told Timothy Bradley in the corner, but it was working with him. And this is what he should have been doing the whole fight instead of getting into a firefight. And another thing I noticed, the crowd is really quiet and they're also booing, which means Timothy Bradley is doing the right things. This round goes to Timothy Bradley. Round 12, and I already have Bradley winning the fight unless Manny Pacquiao knocks him down or knocks him out. And he did not do that. But round 12 was a close round. I'm not even going to lie. I would probably edge it to Pacquiao, but it seemed like Manny Pacquiao took the last 3 rounds off, which were the championship rounds. His activity wasn't as high as the middle rounds where he was dominating the fight. So it is what it is. He did win round 12, which is the last round though. Now look, I want everybody to understand I am not biased. I do not like Timothy Bradley as a boxer. He's cool, but I am not a fan of Timothy Bradley. I'm also not a fan of Manny Pacquiao. I'm not a fan of neither of these guys. Manny Pacquiao fights are exciting. He does have crazy strength, but I just wasn't a fan. He's cool, but I wasn't a fan of neither of the guys. So I'm not biased. But I do know what I see with my eyes. This wasn't a robbery. Most of the people that saying it was a robbery are simply just Manny Pacquiao fans. Just admit it. You're a fan and your guy lost. It's cool. You can admit things like that. It's okay. Boxers lose. But this was not a robbery. Some of the rounds were close, not gonna lie. But also, some of the rounds were decisive for Manny and decisive for Timothy Bradley. And it seems like the judges gave the close rounds to Timothy Bradley. Along with me, I gave most of the close rounds to Timothy Bradley because he was working most of the round. But that's all I got. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And once again, please tell me, what fight do y'all want to see me score next?